Good morning from my kitchen, and it is 4:30 in the morning, and I'm going to make bread. I cannot sleep, so we're going to just jump in here and make a loaf of bread. So we're going to start off. I'm going to put a bowl on my scale and zero it out on grams. Then I'm going to add 220 grams of water to my bowl. And that's approximately a cup of water, a half teaspoon of yeast. I'm going to stir that until it's dissolved. Bring my bowl over for the flour. I'm going to need 320 grams of bread flour. And you could use all-purpose flour. To my flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. So this is a half and a half. I'm just going to whisk that together, take it off my. So we're going to pull that all off of the whisk. Scrape down the sides of my bowl. Then we're just going to cover this and let it rest for 30 minutes. I'm just going to cover it with a damp towel, a damp tea towel, and just let it rest for 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. Now we're going to do the stretch and folds. So with wet fingers, you're going to come and just gently pull up, stretch, and fold over. Turn your bowl quarter turn, pick it up again, stretch, and fold over. You want to do this 4 times. Okay, kind of form a ball and just pick it up and just slap it down into your bowl about 6 times. Kind of folding in the edges, slap down. I lost count, of course. Okay, now we're just going to cover and let set for 30 minutes. The same process as before. You're just going to gently lift, stretch, and fold over. Turn your bowl. Keep your fingers wet so you don't get sticky dough. Pressing it. Now you're just going to form that ball again and do about 6 more lift and slaps. Okay. Now we're going to let it rest for 30 more minutes. It's been 30 minutes, so we're going to do another set of stretch and folds, and then we're going to let it rise for 2 hours or until it's double in size. I'm going to cover it with the damp towel in a warm place for 2 hours. I've got my oven warm, then I've turned it off so it's just barely like 120 degrees, but I'm going to put my dough in this warm oven to rise. Okay, I've let the dough rise for, it was a little more than 2 hours, but it looks beautiful. So I'm going to turn it out onto my floured surface, shape it into my loaf shape that I'm going to shape it into, put it on the pan, and then let it rise for 30 more minutes, the final rise. I've cleaned my surface. Now I'm going to flour it and turn my dough out onto my floured surface. So we just want to be gentle with your dough. You just want to let gravity pull it out if you can. Maybe help it a little bit with a spatula or a scraper. I would like to note that I am not the best at baking bread. It's always trial and error for me. Look at that, I've turned it, see, look, I turned it out onto the spot that was not floured. So now I'm not happy with this. So we're gonna just form our loaf. You can see that there's bubbles in there. And you want this tight as possible. Turning the ends under. So we're gonna see together if this works out. I'm going to flour the top, dust it off carefully. You could use a knife, but I'm just going to take some diagonal lines. Okay, and carefully lift it and put it onto some parchment paper in my pan that I'm going to bake it in. I'm going to cover it with a towel and let it set for 30 more minutes. In its final rise, I'm just going to clean my counter here and get my oven preheated at 430 degrees. We're just going to remove the towel from the pan and sprinkle some water just around, just a few droplets around the outside of the loaf, so that when you cover it, I'm going to cover it with another baking dish the same size as the one it's in and create my own Dutch oven. I have a Dutch oven. I just wanted to try it this way because everyone doesn't have a Dutch oven to make their crusty bread. Okay, so here we go. I've got some water in there to create steam. I'm going to place my other 9x13 baking dish on top, and we're going to put it in the oven for 20 minutes at 430 degrees. After 20 minutes, I'm going to remove the top dish and bake it for 10 more minutes. It's been in the oven 30 minutes. I'm going to remove the top baking dish and bake for 10 more minutes. Okay, it's out of the oven. It baked for 30 minutes and it looks amazing. And it smells so good. I wish you could smell my kitchen. But I'm not cutting it. It is a gift, and I'm going to bag it up when it is cool and give it as a gift for Christmas. So I have 2 more loaves to bake, and maybe I can make those loaves together later, maybe tomorrow or the next day. So thanks for watching, and I appreciate you sticking with me and realizing that I am just a home cook. I'm not trained in any way other than from my mom and from other women in my life. So I want to thank them all and thank you for being here. So, Merry Christmas.